Well, this week so far has been nuts, and this is the first peace and quiet that I've gotten in the house for a couple days. Let's celebrate it with a cup of coffee. Finally got a new whisk after my last one died in my last video, but let me put it to the test. I'm gonna actually try to foam my almond milk today, straight from the cup. I've gotta say, that worked surprisingly well. I love the hint of purple blueberry syrup right over here, matching my cardigan. But let's give this a blueberry latte a taste test. That is so good. Well, hey babes, what is up? It's Haley and welcome back to my channel. This has been the first time in a few days that I've been able to like properly wake up and get myself a coffee and there's kind of silence in the house because as I've mentioned to you in my last vlog, my parents and my sister with her 3 kids are currently staying in our home. They're visiting from both Toronto and LA, and as much as it can definitely get a lot at points, I will admit it is so nice having such a jam-packed house with so many family members that I love so much. They headed out for today's activity. I told them that I'm just gonna stay home because we've got so much stuff to take care of today. Starting with the fact that because my mom is here, I have literally been able to recruit my favorite little helper to help me in finally finishing up our bookshelves. If you're new to this whole bookshelf saga, let me fill you in. We had an entire space in our dining room that I so badly wanted to add an entire floor to ceiling bookshelf. We were quoted maybe like $4,000 or $5,000 in order to get them custom made. So what I did instead is took you guys along with me to IKEA, where I actually was able to find a combination of bottom cabinets and bookshelves that I stacked right on top in order to create this beautiful built-in bookshelf look. You guys have come with me in deciding what kind of colors we were gonna do, and I was just so determined to make these green. I mean, come on, look at these Pinterest bookshelves. They are all so beautiful, and I really wanted to add a touch of color into my already very neutral home. So that's exactly what we did. In the previous vlog, I took the most popular color that both you guys loved and I did too, and my mom and I color drenched the entire bookshelf in this beautiful green tone. So let me take you guys back to the point where we actually finished painting up the bookshelves. Okay, my darlings, well, we're back to a couple days before, and I'll tell you what we did. My mom and I and my family, we all decided that over Shabbat, we were just gonna take some time and just look at these bookshelves and see how we feel. And guys, right now it's nighttime. There's like only artificial lights around us, and this is how I'm feeling. This color is just evoking not a good vibe for me. You know how green usually is supposed to make you feel like nice and calm and serene? I just feel like it doesn't go. I feel like we all had such a great vision, and right now I'm like really upset. I was even talking to Eran and I was telling him how like all of you guys told me to do green, and I totally agreed with you that we should do the green, and I feel like now I'm rethinking the entire thing. I actually decided to give it another shot. I was like, okay, you know what, maybe we just need to try a different tone, maybe we just need to try a different shade. So I actually went ahead and literally the same day that we painted these bookshelves green, I went and I got a sample of the second most popular green option, which was number 4, which is the one that my husband liked the most and a lot of you did as well. And I was like, you know what, maybe this will be the one. Maybe the problem is the fact that just the green is too pale. So I took this entire sheet board and I just painted it in that entire evergreen fog color. The color itself is absolutely beautiful. And basically what I did is we just held it right against the bookshelf and all stared at it. And the crazy thing is that at night, the difference in color is really not that much compared to the daytime. But for some reason, I just still have a gut feeling that I'm gonna regret doing the green. And Eran honestly agrees with me, and it's caused me a lot of anxiety just because of the fact that this is like something that I just wanted so badly, but it just goes to show that sometimes you may have a vision in your head of something that you want and it may not always pan out. I think the main reason being is because this entire room is, like I said, one entire room. This doesn't necessarily feel like a focal point because again, it's not in the center of a room. If this was just a bedroom and we had an accent wall, then a green color would have been beautiful. If we had a bookshelf going from side to side on, again, one wall in an entire bedroom or an entire office like this, that would have been beautiful. But I have yet seen anybody just do one wall in an open concept home that is accented like this. And I think that's what it is that's just throwing me off right now. So after so much thought, so much debating back and forth, I have officially decided to do a color that honestly my mom suggested and a lot of my friends suggested would be good. And I so badly hope that you guys are not going to think I'm boring for this, but we're going to be doing the accessible beige that we have on all of our door and our trim on the bookshelves. I think if anything, it will be such a good balance because this wall was just white before. So to have some of those like trim tones picking up in the bookshelves, it'll be a good idea. I honestly, for some reason, felt like I slept better at night knowing that we were going to do this over this. So that's what it is. And it's not going to stop us from adding color color to this home. If anything, this is actually gonna motivate me and push me to get more colored accessories, colorful decor to put on the shelves, a fun, colorful rug, because sometimes the safest option really is the best one. The funniest thing is that after we finished painting those bookshelves the first time, my mom was just like, Haley, if you change your mind, I'm not painting these bookshelves again. And here we are on Saturday night. Mom's like got her painting gear already and she's like, I'm gonna help you with the bookshelves. We're gonna do this. I still want to hear your feedback, and hopefully you guys just trust me. By the end, once we have our decor, we have our fun rug, some fun accent furniture, I really think that we're gonna be so happy with this decision. So with all that, let's get to painting round 2. Happy to say, very happy to say that the choice we made was such a good one. Are you guys ready for this reveal? Here's a look at what the bookshelves looked like when they were green, and here is how they look now. I promise they are so much more of a warm beige in person. Like, they do not look white at all, and you can clearly see the difference when you see our actual white paint color. I am so in love with this tone. We've got all of the doors drying up. The shelves are over here. As I mentioned to you, we're gonna leave these 2 areas open, and then each of these are gonna have a single shelf. But guys, take a look at what it looks like on the inside. All the holes are covered up, all the seams are filled. I just left the holes obviously for the shelves that are going to be going in, but the beadboard is so beautiful, and I'm so glad that we had that added touch. The sun is kind of in and out, but I am so happy with them, because I truly feel like now these are a statement bookshelf that still is so consistent with the house. Sorry, my sister called me, I got cut off, but this is actually something I wanted to show you. Right now the sun is like kind of hiding behind clouds, and like I said, the sun is in and out. And this is actually where like the biggest aspect of my decision came in here. Like, the sun is coming back right now. This area of the house does not get a lot of light because the majority of the light is actually from the windows across the room. So the problem was adding a bold color like green when you don't have natural lighting to complement it was not doing anything for the house. It didn't warm it up the way that I wanted to. It really just looked super flat. What I do love about this is because it's still a light and bright color, even here in the case that the sun is hiding once again, it would still look really good. And you know what? If anything, I truly feel like this is going to be a good opportunity for me to experiment with my actual home decor. I do not want to be painting these bookshelves again. So the fact that we chose a neutral color like this means that I can swap out my decor every season. I can integrate different color and different artwork in order to really make this a more colorful space, rather than just have the piece be colorful in and of itself, and then I won't really have much flexibility with what to do with the decor. Does that make sense? I know. Eran told me, he's like, Haley, you don't need to explain yourself. Literally just do what you like. I just feel like this is one of those first times where something that I wanted so badly just did not pan out. And I just hope you guys will really have faith and trust in me that once all the shelves are in and the decor is up, the chandelier will have its little tops, the curtains will be replaced, and of course we cannot forget about the wall trim on the rest of the house. I truly feel like this will still be a home with so much character and a lot of color too. So with that being said, before I go out and meet my family for lunch today, I just cannot wait to put the shelves up and peel off all of this tape. Coffee, because this immune system is in desperate need of a hot ginger lemon tea. Let's make it. That is strong, but you know, desperately needed, you guys. It's just a week and a half later, I am battling the worst cold right now because the week that I've had, it's just been a lot. Sharing a home with such a big family is definitely a joy, but it had some challenges too. Like, for example, with filming, there were so many moments that I wanted to go ahead and like get to the bookshelves, and just because I was just so busy with my family, we didn't get to it. So the beige, I don't know. I'm worried that you guys are gonna say, Haley, you took the boring route, but I have so many ideas on how we can still make it a nice colorful space and just like flow with the rest of the house. That being being said, I'm gonna show you guys how we can add color in different ways. We've got a new rug, new curtains, light sconces, decor, and so much more that me and you together are gonna make that bookshelf area be as dreamy as I'm imagining it. So we've got a lot ahead of us, but in the meantime, I thought I might as well go ahead and make my lunch with you guys because today's recipe is something that I have been making on repeat, one of my absolute favorite things ever. And together we're gonna be making my ultimate holy grail veggie spring rolls. Guys, these are so incredible, especially with the peanut dipping sauce that I'm gonna make alongside of it. I have been just craving it so badly. It is such a delicious meal and pretty easy to put together. So I thought I might as well give you my entire week update while we go ahead and cook together. Because you guys are liking cooking with Haley, I see. Okay, so when it comes to these veggie spring rolls, you can really load them up with whatever you want. My favorite components are obviously a lettuce base, so I'm gonna be using butter lettuce for this. So you can go ahead and shred your veggies, whether that be carrots or cabbage, cucumbers, truly whatever it is your heart desires. But my hack way to make these super quick is that I actually already buy some broccoli slaw or any kind of coleslaw shredded vegetables that is just ready to go. It just makes it so much quicker to assemble and it tastes just as good. My favorite part about spring rolls is the noodle filling. So I'm gonna add some noodles to this, and for my protein, I just decided today to opt for tuna, but you can totally make this with chicken as well, or just keep these completely vegetarian too. And then the star of the show, of course, is the rice paper roll. Truly the best invention to like keep a little sandwich together. This is just so satisfying to do. So let me prep all the ingredients, then we'll get to assembling. Peanut dressing is done and it looks so good. It smells so good too. I'm gonna set that off to the side and we're gonna get to actually assembling the spring rolls. So I've got all my ingredients. We've got the wash buttered lettuce, the slaw, my drained noodles, and our protein. Like I said, use any protein of choice. You're gonna wanna take a plate as wide as the rice paper and basically just pour in some hot or warm water into that. And the way that this rice paper works is you can see that it actually has this texture. As soon as you submerge it into some warm or hot water, the texture goes away and it becomes really flexible. So I'm gonna dip it in just like that and I'll let it sit. And this is the point where you just start assembling. My base layer is always the lettuce. Add in the slaw, the tuna on top of that, and of course the noodles. I'm gonna wrap in the sides first and then just give it a tuck and roll. And there we go. One spring roll all done and ready, and I cannot wait to dig in. For those of you that don't know, when Erin and I got married, we actually like lived with my parents, so it was kind of like we were living together again, only this time it was in our space. I had so much fun making like really fun recipes for them. I made them dumplings one night, which if you guys do want to see me make my pot sticker dumplings, comment that down below and maybe that will be the next recipe I share. But we spent such a good quality time together, especially because my sister's kids were actually so close in age with Aaliyah and Naomi. Remember how in the last vlog I told you guys that we had so much fun when we went to Bolero? I just knew that when my family was gonna come, we had to go there again. That was actually something that we did on one of the last nights, which is truly the best place to bowl, party, eat, and play. I was able to actually reserve a booth for all of us. We did 2 lanes. We played with my parents and then my sister played with her family, which I was so happy to have had the opportunity to take Aaliyah with us because she's actually never gone bowling before. And she enjoyed the experience so much. Truly, I didn't know if she was gonna be able to do it, but that's the great thing about bowling is that it's an activity that is so kid friendly. Whenever it was Aaliyah's turn or my nieces and nephew's turn, we actually had the bumpers go up and we gave them a little ramp to help them throw the bowling ball. And Aaliyah just got so excited because every single time she was able to get some bowling pins down. My family and I actually keep kosher, so we honestly just ordered drinks while we were there. But there was another group right next to us that had like an entire party full of food, an amazing menu, cocktails, drinks that really looked like such a good time. And even though Bolero is a bowling center, they have so much other stuff there too, like arcade games. We loaded up some cards for the kids so that we can all play the games together. Aaliyah definitely has a competitive side just like her mom, but it was truly such a fun experience. It's so much fun to be able to partner with such a fun company like them. A couple weeks ago, Erin and I actually did a double date, which just allowed us to have such good quality time there. And truly, for you guys too, if you have a Bolero in your area, I highly recommend that you check it out. I'm gonna leave a link down below. You can actually use that link to get 20% off your next lane reservation. Whether you want to do a day date night, a family night, a corporate event, they are your one-stop destination for a good time, some friendly competition, amazing food, and great arcade games. Which every Wednesday, their arcade games are also 50% off the entire day from open to close. So click the link down below. All you have to do is search up a location near you, enter your email, and choose the date and time that you'd like to go. Valentine's Day is coming up too, so if you're looking for your next date idea, this is one that you will definitely enjoy. Okay, loading up my final spring roll here. You know, I've even seen a lot of people do this by double rolling it, like they put a second rice paper wrapper on it and then toss it into the air fryer. I mean, little air fried dumplings, I think that is definitely something I'm gonna try next. You guys, just take a look at how good these look. And I'm telling you, if you guys use the hack of like using the slaw instead of having to shred all your own vegetables, this is honestly the quickest meal that you can make for lunch. But let's give this a try. Oh my god. Yum. So good, especially because my peanut sauce is like pretty thick. It actually sticks on. So happy with this. And truly, you could just make such a big batch of this too and store them in a container, have them ready to go for lunch the next day. This was definitely a hit, guys. Comment down below what other recipes you want me to try out, test out, or make on here. I told you every single one of the vlogs I wanted to have a little cooking segment, whether it's a lunch, a dinner, breakfast, meal prep. I do get my best ideas from you guys, so comment down below what you want to see. I know that when I shared this little story of me making some pot sticker dumplings on my Instagram, so many of you asked me for the recipe. So if you want to see a dumpling recipe or a dumpling cook with me, comment it down below and I'm gonna make sure that the next vlog is gonna have that for you. But in the meantime, I'm gonna fuel myself up with these and then we can finally get back to perfecting the bookshelf area. Cheers! Okay babes, feast your eyes on our bookshelves! I just truly love how like light and bright it feels. It's still such a statement because they are so huge, but the beige is like a nice subtle touch. But okay, my first mission with these bookshelves is to go ahead and add our books. Like I said, as much as bookshelves are so beautiful, one of my biggest pet peeves are bookshelves that are like strictly decorative, that just have a bunch of trinkets and decor and junk on them and don't actually have a function. So if you missed it, the whole reason as to why we're doing these bookshelves in the first place is because my husband and I, being Orthodox Jews, Jewish learning is something that is really important in our religion. Specifically for men. Eren literally does Torah learning every single day from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, where he breaks his brain going through all of these different Jewish books. And these books are huge and they are heavy. He actually ordered an entire collection knowing that we're gonna have these bookshelves. And I told him, no problem, you can get these books, but babe, you gotta make sure that they're aesthetic. These books come in blue, they come in red, and I told him if you want them, you need them in the chocolate brown. So let's go ahead and add these to the bookshelves because he doesn't need to access them constantly. And because they are still so beautiful, this is not only gonna add a beautiful aesthetic touch to our home, but also a spiritual one too. So let's get stacking. Well, I've definitely got a lot more bookshelf space to fill up, but that's the beautiful part about Jewish learning. It's never done. Like there's people who literally have floor to ceiling bookshelves with so many books, which one day I am hoping that this will be full of too. So I have those right there. I'm definitely going to be adding some more books as well as decor in between. I still have to kind of figure out the configuration of where I want what. And for these two areas right here, I actually want this to be kind of like our Shabbat candle lighting area. Every Friday night, we always light candles. So I want to be able to put some candles here, maybe some beautiful artwork right above. Over here, maybe some more like traditional Shabbat stuff, like our board for our challah bread. And if you guys have no idea like what I'm talking about, we basically have a lot of like little Jewish trinkets that we like to keep at home. And I really want this area to just be mainly that, at least this first level. And then above it is where we can go ahead and put in like the fun thrifted artwork, some plants for sure, and some more decor pieces too. So I had to change because it was getting so hot, but Amazon package has arrived and it's got a bunch of different stuff that I got for this space. And first things first, we have our little doorknobs. And I actually opted to just go with the same ones that I have in my kitchen right now. But I personally really like the look of like the brushed gold little knobs. I think they're gonna look so pretty. So let me add those in right now. So many of you are like so passionate about having a rug in the dining room. A lot of you said not to. So I thought that a perfect solution would be to get a rug that is not expensive in the case that it does get really messy and dirty to uphold. That being said, I found this incredible rug on Amazon. It is an 8x10 for $90. The colors of this are just so beautiful. It's got some greens, it's got some rust. I feel like this is the perfect thing to complement, like I said, adding in more green tones to the space without having to actually paint the bookshelf. Plus, it's also washable. So let's cozy up the space and add the rug. Oh guys, I love it. It's so pretty. it's giving exactly that amount of like color and texture that I want. And I'm just so excited to pull a lot of like the greens and the rusts and the burgundies and put them in when I'm decorating the shelf. I think it just looks so good. And I basically got the width of the size of the bookshelf to kind of make it centered in the room. Next, it's time for me to add back the lampshades for our fixture right here. But here they are, and let me just pop those right back on. It's just coming together so well. The only thing, and I know a lot of you guys may be commenting on this, our pendant light is not centered to the bookcase, and there was no way for us to be able to change it because I could definitely get an electrician to move it. But the problem is if I center it to the actual bookcase, then whenever we put our table, it's gonna be too close to the window, and we need a big table because we host a lot of people, obviously. So my priority was more to like center the light to the table, if that makes sense. But honestly, when you like walk around throughout the house, you actually cannot tell. Okay, finally, before I go ahead and actually put the table back, there was one thing that I wanted to ask you guys about. This is something that I need your advice on because I'm scared to do it in this video without hearing what you think. So remember how I told you on Pinterest, I saw the line backing on the bookcases and that's what made me want to do it. I felt super confident about that. But another way that I saw a lot of people were adding character to their bookcases was by adding sconces to it. Here's a couple photo examples. You can basically put sconces right at the top, either one or a few to line up with the bookcase. And I thought, hey, you know what? Maybe this is a really great opportunity for us to try to add some of that green back in. Okay, so these are basically LED sconces that have a gold base, as you can see. But what I fell in love with the most is the green glass of it, because look at how stunning this is. This is where my conflict is. It's the fact that we already have a pretty extravagant light pendant that I don't really want to replace because this looks really good above the dining table. So my question to you guys is, do you think adding these to the bookshelves is going to be too much? Here is what the sconce looks like. I know, it's so pretty. So I don't know the placement of them yet, but I am gonna go ahead and hold it up from this angle and then show you from a different angle as well to give you guys a bit more of an idea of what it's gonna look like. Okay, so from the front, this is kind of what it would look like. Imagine 3 of those. I don't know exactly where, but that's the front look. And then when it comes to this corner, here is what the sconce looks like when I hold it up. I don't know, I personally really do love the sconce idea, but I feel like it would have been a nice statement if I didn't already have this. So as always, provide me with your advice. What do you guys think? Add the sconces, don't add them? Do you have another idea on how we can tie in some more green into the bookshelf? So moving up the curtain rod is something I'm definitely gonna do. And because of that, either way, I'm gonna have to swap out these curtains because they're gonna be too short. So because I don't wanna like overbuy, obviously, these curtains are gonna go upstairs because the ceilings upstairs are a foot shorter, so these ones will work perfect. But basically for this area, just because I told you I don't want too much neutral and white, I wanna have a little bit of a breakup and add some darker elements. I have these in my bedroom upstairs and I absolutely love the way that they look there. And I don't know, I feel like adding some chocolate to the space is gonna add some much needed warmth. So, question is, do we stick with these like beige curtains in this area, or do I double up and instead add these brown long ones that go all the way to the ceiling? I think I'm feeling the brown, but what do you guys think? As you guys know, there's just a part of me that really wants to add some more dimension, and I think that this chocolate brown looks so great with the bookshelves instead of like just having the beige curtains, because it kind of blends in, you know what I mean? But then again, there's even an option to maybe get like olive green curtains, or do you think that's gonna be a bit much? Let me just move our dining table back to its place so we can get a vision of what everything is looking like together. Okay, our whole dining table and chairs are set. I will say, I do think that my biggest regret probably is getting a dining set in this kind of like beech wood tone. I think in the time that like I was renovating, this was like the wood style that was so popular. I personally, right now, you guys know, I am in love with like chocolate brown. Like this chocolate brown color that I made my dining table in. I'm sure a lot of you can agree. If this was like chocolate brown, I think it would definitely look so much better. But hey, maybe there's a way that I can DIY it and make it look a little darker. But this is where we're at so far. And I have to say, I am really happy with the beige bookshelf choice. I think that it makes a statement in the house without being an eyesore. And like I said, there's so much opportunity for us to now have fun with decor and switch it up all the time. Because think about it, if we had green bookshelves, I can only really do like neutral decor on it all the time. But being that the bookshelf is neutral, every single season I can play around with new fun thrift finds and new decor to switch up and make it look cute. Because if you know anything about me at this point, I love to change up the style and the vibe in my house. I think for our next next video, other than obviously doing those upgrades that you suggest, we are finally going to be getting into adding character to this house. I'm literally going to take you guys with me to Home Depot. We're going to get a bunch of moldings and all the supplies that we need, and we're going to create like molding boxes all around this wall, and maybe even following the wall over here too. And it's finally going to complete this wall so I can go ahead and add my pictures and my thrift finds and all the other decor that we have. But slowly but surely, the space is coming together so well. I mean, I'm so happy with the bookcases, you guys. I hope that you are too. And how dare I forgotten to say that if you are watching up to this point, you know that you're the real MVP, guys. We made it to the end. If you are watching, then comment down below beige-tastic. Make me feel good about the fact that we went with the beige, okay? Because I still think that it looks pretty good. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for also putting up with all my indecisiveness, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one, where I'll definitely keep being indecisive. Love you.